Hello, welcome back. Today we're going to look at a chapter in my book, The Side of Kindness. The chapter is called Not Counting Women and Children. Where's the kindness in that? So I want to discuss that just a little bit with you. I think it's time to celebrate women, especially women in the Bible who've often been left out, often ignored, and those who go unnamed and unnoticed. I think it's time to take another look. Certainly we know that Jesus teaches us to pray in the Bible. He starts by saying, Our Father, which is one of our greatest prayers. But did you also know that Jesus speaks about God in female terms as well as male terms? He says that God is like a woman seeking a lost coin. That's found in Luke 15. He talks about God as like a baker woman. That's also Luke 13. He talks about God as like a mother hen, Luke 13. And he talks about God as like a birthing mother and a midwife. That's in the book of Revelation, chapter 12. We don't hear that much about that. We certainly know, of course, that the foundation of the church is built on Peter, that he recognized Jesus as the Son of God, and that is why he is called the head of the church. What about Martha, though? Martha also says, Yes, Lord, I believe that you are the Christ, the Son of the living God, he who comes into the world. It's found in John 11. She also recognized that Jesus is the Son of God, but we hear very little about this from the teachers of the church. Where's the kindness in that? We know that Jacob had 12 sons representing the 12 tribes of Israel, but he also had daughters. We don't hear about that. We also know and often hear of the story of God being like the shepherd looking for the lost sheep. But did you know the story of God being like the woman who found the lost coin? And that follows immediately after the passage of the lost sheep, but we don't hear much about that. Both stories are Jesus's way of describing God. One male image and one female image. But my guess is that children maybe in school would recognize the story of the lost sheep almost immediately. But they might not have ever heard the story about God being like the woman finding the lost coin. Why is that? If women are not in the biblical text, it doesn't necessarily mean that they were not present. There's a tendency to overlook the presence of God of those who are considered less important. For example, Mark does not mention women at the multiplication of the loaves, but luckily, Matthew says about 5,000 men had eaten, not counting women and children. If Matthew didn't include the phrase not counting, then we would be led to believe that there were no women present at all at the multiplication of the loaves and fishes. Where's the kindness in that? Certainly, religious patriarchy is alive and well, and many women have had firsthand experience of all this strong women who have been not celebrated but treated with prejudice and lack of power. But it's never too late to change things. In the 1983 Code of Canon Law, there was an attempt to change the sexual imbalance that exists in the church. There's a canon, and it's Canon 208 of the Code of Canon Law, and it states, quote, there exists among the Christian faithful a true equality regarding dignity and action by which all cooperate in building up the body of Christ. So there have been attempts made by some church documents to rid the law of discrimination, but it sometimes hangs there like a noose nonetheless. Instead, what continues to go unnamed also goes unnoticed. When women are not counted, they are then ignored or treated as inferior to men, not only in the church, but in many businesses as well as homes today. I love the passage in the Catechism of the Catholic Church, number 370, where it says, in no way is God in man's image. He is neither man nor woman. I think they need to work on their vocabulary there a little bit. He is neither man nor woman. I think they need to work on that. We need, I think, too, to make a resolution. Perhaps we can resolve to count women and children and to challenge one another and challenge our church to also count them as equally effective members and leaders in our church today. Let us resolve that we can do all we can together to live out the true message of equality and inclusiveness that has always been the message of the gospel, but it has not always been preached as such in our churches or in our Catholic institutions. Tell me, where is the kindness in that? Let us work together and resolve to make a change. Thank you.